Hello, welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV. I queued up for 5 things again, and we got Neverreaping, so here we go. If you remember, when we picked it up from the Elder in the Zundu village, I don't remember if that was in the last half of the second muted episode or not, but they said we're here to get a Wakyan scale so that they can build their ritual tribal leader mask. A Wakyan is Wakyan, or however you say it, is there's probably more emphasis on the K since there's 2 of them. But that VW doesn't make the Beetle anymore? Okay, Volkswagen. I don't know why these people are talking about cars, but they're talking about cars. Which means I am uninvested, because I drive a 2001 Toyota Camry. It gets me from point A to point B and gets decent gas mileage still, so need for transportation fulfilled. Interesting dungeon. They gate it by having these wind vortexes. And if this were real, even if, you know, I was the fantasy world traverser or whatever, jumping from island to island like that would, oh my god, it would be so frightening. Take the pull all the way because you're scared of the tornadoes. That time. Oh well. You almost never see an old dungeon pulled correctly or pulled like how it used to be pulled when it was new or whatever. Which is okay. I mean, heck, even when it was new, you know, not everyone pulled it correctly. Not every tank is good. Neither is every healer. Certainly not every DPS. The thing about pulling large in this game, it's kind of been some of the finer aspects of why you would pull everything have been kind of done away with. For physical DPS, ranged included, you used to have a resource called TP, technical points or technique points. You had a static 1000, and single target skills, you know, depending on which, you know, class you were, they took anywhere from 50 to 70. And honestly, it was higher than that. It was higher than that by a good bit originally. I think I remember. I think True Thrust on Dragoon used to take like 90 TP. You know, that's the combo opener. So prolonged fights, you know, you could actually run out of your attack resource on a physical class. And AoEs took, you know, anywhere from 120 to 150. So you would pull large so that physical damage dealers could actually do the most amount of damage per point of resource spent. Right? That was a legitimate concern. Also concerned for tanks as well, except for Dark Knight. One of the biggest advantages of Dark Knight was the fact that on AoEs, it could use MP instead of TP. So it could AoE almost indefinitely. Nowadays, ever since Shadowbringers came about, they did away with TP. They felt like people weren't concerned with it. They gave us so many ways to get it back that it more or less was never an issue. Not even in the longest fights. Like, really only if you died multiple times and didn't have your TP restoring ability, off cooldown or whatever, were you gonna have problems with TP. Not originally, though. Originally, they had it set up to where you would have problems with it, and you would need people to restore it for you. And this tank doesn't realize that they should have pulled these on top of the caster, but such is life. The gear that drops from here is basically Tome Father or Glamour. It's only item level 160. So it was really good at the start of Heavensward when Heavensward was brand new, but not anymore. And this tank is not tanking anything. And there they go. About time. They still haven't picked up this Vespa. The Divine Vespas are the most dangerous thing in this pool. They all do Final Sting. And I don't think that their Final Sting was ever adjusted. I think their Final Sting is still just instant death, unless you have an immunity going. I could be wrong. But when you pull large, even if it was, 95% area HP, obviously you still just die. So this pull, doing this entire pull would have, quite the challenge when this was new. It was actually quite fun. Risky for the healer, risky for the tank, risky for everyone. I wish, though, that they'd have more problem monsters like that, because not only does it dissuade people from doing large pulls, which a lot of the player base says they don't want, but for those who do still insist on doing large pulls, it creates a bigger challenge, and it also, gets DPS more in the mindset that they should be. Why did he give me a Lady of... Oh wait, no, he gave it to the ninja. Why did he give the ninja Lady of Crowns? That's a ranged card. Whatever. Interesting mechanic for this one is he summons the statues. The statues if they're caught in that purple circle, they turn into ads and give him an invulnerability tether. It can be really quite nasty if he gets an ad too. The vulnerability tether gives him a magic attack up or something, and then he can put this really nasty bleed on a random party member. And if the healer doesn't Asuna it, or doesn't heal through it, then they'll likely die. Even with well, we're synced to item level 210 while we're in here, but even with item level 210, it can kill you. So. This is one of my favorite dungeons, though. It's really pretty, and it's unique. we might get to see a interesting effect when we get into one of the water bubbles. But okay, yeah. Here we go. Your whole screen, yeah. Because you could be in first person, I guess that makes your whole screen get all bubbly. Pretty cool. I wish they do more effects like that. I don't know why they don't, but probably just some sort of effect that, you know, is underappreciated, or, you know, it's actually a bad thing if you have it happen. Interesting thing about this pool is you don't have to kill the Dommels. The Dommels are not... Only the fish and the crabs are necessary to be killed to get the water wall to go down. And you can actually just run to the boss, and there's a gap here that the enemies can't cross. So you can just leave the Dommels behind. But that can be kind of bad, at least in the old days, because when you're in combat, your TP regeneration was only 60 TP every like 3 or 4 seconds. They didn't wait. Surprise, surprise. That's okay. We'll see if they live through the knockback, because you can get knocked off the edge in this arena. That would be the knockback. Interesting thing about this boss is that over time it gains evasion stacks, and so the closer to death it gets, the more you will miss. And it took a very, very high accuracy gear rating to never miss it. Oh, we don't have accuracy anymore, so once it starts getting these stacks, it's a real pain. So that basically enforces its ad phase. You know, it gets that wind shield, and then you gotta kill the wind sprites. It's just the way it goes. And down the Wakion goes. Blarg. So we didn't just get one of its scales, we killed the shit out of it. That'll teach the evil fat owl people. I guess I'll calm the ninja. Bloop, bloop, bloop. We got the scale, boss. I guess we were in there for like, what, like 15 minutes? I lost track. Should have looked at the clock before I left. One of these days I will use the in-game clock to show things off, but today is not that day. Alright, how many poetics? I got 887. I guess I could go buy some red mage gear if I didn't already, which I didn't already, so I'm in Aziz's Law because it has the highest level fates, and I'm working on the fate challenge log for more EXP. Since I'm leveling so many jobs now on Clyde, you know, it can't hurt for me to get EXP. A lot of people stress out about getting too much EXP from the main storyline and all the dungeons that they feel like they have to do, including the side dungeons, you know? They're like, I out-leveled the main storyline, I'm wasting a bunch of EXP. It's like, there's no worry about that if you just go ahead and level 1 of every role. And 2 of some, because you want some flavor. I mean, leveling Samurai on him is, like I've said before, it's part of having that emergency character, you know, have Samurai, so that it doesn't technically break with character for, you know, me to suddenly have to record on a Samurai. And the other reason, you know, is that Stormblood, the next expansion that we'll get to eventually, one of the featured jobs for it is Samurai. Every time they have a trailer or a promotional event showing stuff from Stormblood or the end of Stormblood, it's always either Monk or Samurai. And like Monk is in the first trailer, or the first half of the first trailer that they ever did, sparring with a blonde chick in a red dress. Whereas Samurai is shown in the Far East, anime style fighting with Imperials that are also using katanas for some reason. And I guess they're Far Eastern conscripts, so that's what they know what to fight with. But also every time though that they show the main villain of Stormblood, the Warrior of Light's always fighting them on Samurai. So that's another reason why I'm leveling Samurai, is to fit in with the promotional canon, I guess, even though the promotional canon hardly matters. I've actually not adhered to promotional canon for A Realm Reborn, because I didn't level Warrior. But, you know, I've leveled Warrior like 5 times the maximum level in the past, and I've only leveled it twice in Shadowbringers, but I'm tired of playing Warrior. And also, it's not in a good place identity-wise and damage-wise compared to the other tanks currently. Although all tank DPS is pretty much garbage, except for Gunbreakers, so at least on a single target. Dark Knight has amazing AoE damage. Just absolutely... just an absolute wrecking machine. Yeah, I killed your claws. What are you gonna do about it? Nothing, that's what. Scylla Mal Albinus. Senior Magitech Technician Scylla Mal Albinus has arrived in Garlemald to conduct his inspection. Aw, he sends me to death. What a cutie patootie. You don't even know who I am. Yeah, we're already actually ahead on several jobs of the main storyline requirements. Because obviously we still have the whole 60 plateau to go through. We'll go with the Harvest Moon. Gosh, choking. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. That's my brother that just logged in. He always plays chicks. Because he's always been a fan of strong, fictional, supernatural women for some reason. In his books, in his video games, in his movies. He is obsessed with the fighting fuck toy, the, you know, badass, strong woman, you know. Can't believe I actually used that phrase, fighting fuck toy. Although he actually, oddly enough, he doesn't really like to dress the women scantily. He always dresses them up in proper gear, like they're AF. Or they're, you know, like if it's a tank, he dresses them in full plate mail. But still, I've always found it weird that he just likes play women. Of course, that's, you know, the majority of the MMO player base anyway. People can't get enough of their cat girls. One of the reasons I don't like them, cat girls, because everyone does. Not that I'm contrarian by nature, but I played Final Fantasy XI for actively for 11 years. And then went back every few months to check on it, and, you know, actually did finish every expansion and story and side story and add-on. So in that game, the cat girl race didn't have a male selection, and everyone wanted to be a cat person. So there was an inordinate amount of Mithras. Also, sorry for the, you know, basically just doing fates while waiting on this queue. I'm hoping I get it within the next 10 minutes. Because if I don't, if I don't get a queue within the next 10 minutes here, I'm just gonna have to give up. And I guess stop recording. Because we won't have the time to complete the dungeon. Which you would think with people running the 50, 60, 70 roulette that we'd be able to get into one of the 4-mans at least. I have a feeling that for Void Ark, I'm gonna have to basically set aside like a couple hours and queue for it by itself, because hardly anyone runs it. The Alliance Roulette is almost strictly the level 50 24-man raids, because one, they're being made mandatory for main story progress come 5.3, and two, because they are the easiest and the fastest to kill, people will, despite being like level 70 and like leveling a level 70 job, they will put on item level like 110 gear, and that will ensure that they don't get any duties that are higher than their item level requirements. So they can't get Void Arc because, you know, the item level requirement for Void Arc is 175. Right? So you just, you know, you put on level 50 gear and you can't get... oh, Fractal Continuum. See if we can't finish this fate first, though. We're so close to killing it. That's right! Ready for the EX meter drop? Yay! Tank! Now this is a very interesting dungeon, and there's stuff to read in it that pertains to Allagan lore, as well as lore about the world at large. So we won't be able to stop and read it on the way through, but we can read it after. I just have to remember to not exit the dungeon after we beat the dungeon. So there's that. There's that. But I just love that we're ticking away at the 60 plateau. Look, it's an Allagan Naga. Hey look, a model of the Crystal Tower. Really cool energy field doors. And we're synced to item level 210 again. We've got a Catgirl Warrior. Looks pretty cute. Lalafell Healer is acceptable, especially with that Chocobo tattoo on his cheek. And Midlander, you can use some work there, but eh. They're reading the guide panel. Technology in daily life. This exhibit showcases the various scientific advances that allow Allagans to live lives of heretofore unheard of ease and efficiency. Swing. See, there's the crystal tower thing up there, and there's some Allagan tables basically up there. There's ADS nodes up there. We just fought the robot cops, and you know, some stuff in here is broken, so. This was my favorite of the Heavensward dungeons when Heavensward was new. Look, we got a modular chair over there. Looks like a dented ADS. Exhibit 2, Technology and War. See the myriad marvels of Allagan military technology that have replaced flesh and blood soldiers, ensuring that no Allagan citizen need ever again lay down their life in battle. So Allagan spot using clones, or robots and clones. So we got these mannequin marauders. I guess they're basically people like mammoths. Look, they're wearing the Crystal Tower, or the Labyrinth of the Ancients gear, whatever. Got a boss up there. Exhibit 3, the Phantom Ray. Feast your eyes on this massive yet elegant automaton, designed to monitor and, if necessary, dispatch potentially violent chimerical constructs. Looks like Ravana. Phantom Ray, huh? Well, I'm glad I stopped to read now. Hopefully we can get through this before the recording stops. Or at least get to the final boss before the recording stops. Spoiler alert, nothing in here is dangerous enough to really warrant, you know, showing off and explaining. We could literally fail almost every single mechanic and telegraph and still kill everything. And we could totally kill this without a healer too, but this tank's probably not in the right mindset to do it without a healer. So. What is that from? What has green dragon that is... Oh, that's right. This is another difficulty in recording in MMOs. I could disconnect. People could disconnect. Oy vey. What a messy procedure. Okay, the healer should take their time and give a smiley emote, so I would assume they didn't force a disconnect. I don't know if we can vote dismiss yet. Oh, nope, they're back. That's another reason I like to lead dungeons, lead with dungeons for recordings when they're new to the Let's Play, because if I disconnect and get kicked out or whatever, you know, I can always just stop the recording if, you know, if I need to. Got a multi-part tank buster called FFXIV. More dangerous, you know, when you're fresh out of the MSQ, and you don't have, you know, gear that's so outlandishly good. Get that on there for the next FFXIV. Yeah, it's physical, so paint works on it. Ooh, and paint's gonna last for both of them. Delicious. I love helping out tanks. Wish I had more of that kind of stuff. But that, to some people, that falls under the purview of, that's not the DPS's job. That can't be done. Ooh, how dare you take away from the tank's job. Well, if the tank is bad and isn't doing their job, I would like to be able to, you know, get through the content if I have the means to help them through the content while they're still learning, you know, so much the better. I don't want to be able to do everything, mind you. Like, I wouldn't want to be able to heal while, you know, heal other people while hitting stuff with my katana. You know, I don't want to be able to, you know, just like tank for the tank, but, you know, being able to help them out. We'll come back and read that one at the end. Yay, I'm glad you aggroed me. Because, honestly, small pulls. Normally I have the patience for them, but when I'm on a schedule, they make me antsy. It's kind of funny, on the official forums, some people are like, you shouldn't queue for a duty unless you know you have the time for the whole duty timer. It's like, but who in their right mind queues for a dungeon thinking, oh yeah, plus the queue time, I need to reserve an hour and a half to complete what should take 15 minutes. Right? The reason dungeons have such lengthy timers isn't because they should take that long. It's to give you room for error and room for learning. Right? Because, like, if you wipe a few times, it's easy. It's easy for a dungeon to take, you know, as long as 40 to 50 minutes. And it is possible in duties to fail enough that you do run out of your timer. It usually happens in 24-man raids, when the 24-man raids are brand spanking new, because people are not familiar with mechanics yet, and in 24-man raids, mechanics are usually dangerous enough that they can be fatal. And there's also usually DPS checks on, like, final boss and stuff. Or the penultimate boss as well. I love killing chimeras, which are apparently of Allegan creation. Originally. Ooh, a Minotaur. Those are also Alligan, huh? High-level incubation chamber. I can't wait to go back and read what the dungeon says about these. Tank. I would say this is cute and endearing, but... I'm on a schedule! Wasn't what we were talking about, but okay. Easy peasy. And this teleporter takes us back to the start of the dungeon. And then we step on this. Shazam. Blaze wall goes down. Shazam. If you're timid, you really shouldn't play tank. I've said it before, I'll say it again. There's no reason to be timid on tank. You have the most defense, the most survivability guaranteed to you just by the nature of your role and the skills you possess. And it's within the, the zeitgeist of MMO culture for the healer to heal you when your health bar goes down, if you're the tank. So you have no reason to be afraid at all whatsoever of anything. Anything. Everything in MMOs and everything in video games, well, except for some really old video games or some purposely obtuse video games, is designed to be beaten. Right? Or is designed with the intention that someone beats it, right? If it's, coincidentally or, thought to be unbeatable, then either it was designed to not be beaten, or, ooh, that's a really pretty sword. Baldur Blade. It's Dark Knight, you see. It's not dyeable though, so it's a really pretty sword. It'd be cool if I could get it, but I only rolled a 55. What a shame. Dude, come on, go! I love this boss. It's like a sphinx. Please go. Please go. I unintentionally got a lot of pinky. Oh well, I guess that means I can just use it to kill the boss faster. I know that Higginbottom won't last enough. I'm just pushing back like alright, but I love my Higgin bananas. Yay! We did it! Now, remember the make of this monster for later. Because you can clearly see that's like some sort of robot, you know, biological hybrid thing. And, we fought it in the reality augmentation bay, so... I guess I'll give them a comm even though they were slow. Oh, I can need that, even though I don't really care about it. But now, let's go back and read! Read the things we didn't read before. Hopefully, before the video cuts out. I'm pretty sure I've almost reached the recording time limit. But, I could be wrong. Let's see, what does that look like? It's like a simple sheath, simple blade. Okay, I guess it's simple. Simple yet effective. Ooh, treasure. We read all these at the start. This is the first thing. You should notice that central energy pillar, or whatever, pylon's no longer glowing. Was steam coming out of those pipes before? Were they cracked like that before? I'll have to check in the recording later. Exhibit level 3. History gallery, huh? Let's see. Got... Those look like the Mirror Knights. Exhibit 4, the Mirror Knight. A second generation construct boasting the strength of a bear and the acute vision of an owl. As with many earlier efforts at synthesis, lack of intelligence and a proclivity for violence limited its practical use. These look like the Elegant Vipers. On the left there anyway, but here we got the Shop Ts. The Shop T, a 4th generation construct and one of the first to effectively employ cloning technology. With high intelligence and regenerative capacity, its development was hailed as a major breakthrough. The Naga. Among the first successful efforts in synthesizing a void scent. Synthetic void scent? Okay. Void research remains an emerging field, with future developments holding great promise. Hey look, those look like Ixali with wings. The Ixalion. A highly intelligent construct employed by Allegan engineers to perform maintenance tasks. Notable flaws include a weakness against the elements and certain genetic instabilities. So the Ixali were an Allegan creation. How about that? Makes you wonder what else could be an Allegan creation. Don't it? I could have sworn there were more. Well, at least one more thing to read. But maybe not. I wonder why their teleporters were cubes. Like, why did they choose that as Allegan, you know, teleportation? Levitating cube. The cubes don't look all that futuristic either. They look like they're made out of stone. And those terminals from Coil, you remember Turn 3? They made a return there to unlock the reality augmentation. But I suppose that's all that was left, so that's all she wrote for now. So remember this dungeon for later, because we'll be revisiting it at the 70 cap with Fractal Continuum hard mode. But for now, I think I gotta call the recording quits. If it wasn't already, you know, close to the end, I'd still call it quits, because it's dinner's gonna be on the table soon. We're having grilled chicken, and I'm not gonna partake of it, but eggplant parmesan. Never was much for the texture or taste of eggplant, so you might also know them by the name aubergines. See if we can't fit in this little quest completion here, though, before I let you go. If I've even got time for it. Node nacelle. This gets us a little mini ADS minion. Flip. Auto-detecting newly installed nacelle. Flip. Nacelle detected. Reinitializing system settings. Flip. Initialization complete. Welcome to Azzy's Law, Master Wedge and Master Clyde. Gilly, could it truly be you? Flip, the very same, Master Wedge. I'm running at optimal efficiency, thanks to my first full-body overhaul in approximately 5 millennia. You really are too kind. Oh. Can't you tell? I'm a woman, baby. I've got a favor to ask you, Clyde. This might sound silly, but I want you to take Gilly with you on your adventures. I want her to see that there's more to our world than this etheric waste she's called home for thousands of years. Yes, I'd say our little girl's done enough guidance. From this day forward, she's an accompaniment node, and with you, she's going to go where no node has gone before. Seems legit. Shazam! Got a lot of new minions that I haven't looked at. Constructed by Ironworks handyman Wedge, solely of parts retrieved from a deactivated Ozzy's Law guidance node, this refurbished machina retains none of the guidance capabilities present in the original. Well, I guess that's neat. It's a little bit silly. But this game prides itself on being a little bit silly, so... you know. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you next time. Stay tuned for more dungeons for the Void Ark saga, and you know, maybe next time I'll be playing a different job. Who knows? Certainly not me. So, have a good one.